5-star freaking Aaron Animal. And yeah, we back with some reactions. We got like a little hodgepodge of stuff for you today. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, let's see how this one goes. So I'm just gonna start it off. You know what I'm saying? The first one's called. Ooh, oh, I'm not at it. Okay, the first one's called Freddy's Chariot Freddy Truck. Driving my truck right after a brewski. Yeah, but I hope Dunlap said this to me, my son. So a lot of times when he sent me stuff to react to, I'm a little worried. The last thing he sent me to was that weird ass Mickey Ward video, and I a little worried, but okay, without further ado, let's hop in this bad boy. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Also, drive safely. Drink responsibly. What the hell? Okay, you know what? That was actually way more dope than I expected. Not gonna lie, that was actually way more dope than I expected. I was expecting some garbage. that was actually pretty dope. I'm sorry. I'll put some respect on my son's name. All right, my bad. I will say it gave me a lot of like GLaDOS type vibes, mostly because of the words were very electronic. But yeah, definitely gave me some GLaDOS type vibes. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? If you've played it, you know what I'm talking about. All right, on to the next one. This is called Hawkeye Star Rail AMV Goodbye My Life by, oh my god, I can't, words today. Goodbye My Love by Clover World AMV. Oh my god, why, dude, did I say AMV? It's Clover, there's something wrong. I'm just gonna start the video. How could I know it would be goodbye my love? I like how you cut your name to put edit in a music video. That's pretty cool. Okay. I like the scene choices, I ain't gonna lie. I react to a lot of Hawkeye recently. During my live. Their cutscenes go pretty hard. Clean. Moshi moshi. Moshi moshi. Clean. All right, you know, I've seen plenty of Clover's videos at this point. You know what I'm saying? Dude, definitely go heavy with like the saturation with like, and I like colors, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm like one of those dogs that be like squirrel. I like colors and flashy things and stuff like that. So it's clean to me. You know what? But I want to challenge you, Clover, bro. I want to see more overall stuff in there, bro. Okay, like specifically like what's it called? Oh my god, what the heck is it called? What is it called? When you cut the thing, masking, more masking. Put that mask in there. All right, yeah, this ain't Jim Carrey, but put the mask in there. There's something wrong with me today. Let's move on to the next one. All right, this was called "What Happened to No Game No Life" by Mellow Macau. Mikau. So, No Game No Life, one of my favorite shows that only has one season. One of my favorite shows. Oh my god, I love No Game No Life so much. I really am upset that it's not going to get a second season. I think I saw why already. It's not going to happen from the actual creator, but this video might have more information. I don't know. So let's hop on in there.
Every once in a while, an anime comes along that, for better or for worse, completely reshapes its genre. Sailor Moon revolutionized magic roles. Dragon Ball defined battle shonen, and for isekai, it was series like Fushigi Yugi and Sword Art Online. And in 2014, No Game No Life looked ready to join that list and push isekai in a whole new and better direction, and I'm confident that it would have, if it wasn't for the fact that it disappeared. Which is really weird because the series was, and still is, very popular with a very active fan base.
It's such a good story.
It begs the question, what happened? I mean, the story is a really interesting concept about two siblings, Sora and Shiro. Two geniuses that feel like they don't really fit into society, and so they became hikikomoris. And they do the one thing you would expect two geniuses hiding from society would do, and that's play JRPGs and call kids slurs on Call of Duty. And one day, while they're on a win streak, they get a message by somebody going by the name Tet, and they challenge them to a friendly game of chess. This is where we start to see each sibling's skill kind of shine. Shiro is just really good at math, and Sora is really good at strategy, and together, they're basically an unstoppable team. So when they win this chess game, it's revealed that Tet is actually a god of another world and basically invites them to Vegas. I mean, Discord. A world that he's created where people are incapable of hurting each other, so all conflicts are actually solved through gambling.
I was watching a movie,
for example,
to see why he's the only god.
A game of rock paper scissors, and I made the wager.
Didn't like the movie.
If I won, you had to subscribe to my channel, and then hypothetically, I won this game of rock paper scissors. Magic would then force you to subscribe to my channel, or would have made it where you were always subscribed to my channel. So, subscribe. Honestly, it's just a really cool concept that gets you thinking and makes you ask questions like, can you technically cheat? Yes, the answer is yes, and very much like Vegas, you can do so as long as you don't get caught.
Yeah, don't do it, guys. Don't do it.
Because this is a magic world, a lot of the cheating is done through that. So you have people that can read minds, or others that use their magic to always know what's going to happen and predict the outcomes of the games. And actually, there's only one race in this world that can't use magic, and that's humans.
The humans!
So they're at an extreme disadvantage, including Sora and Shiro, who actually have to use their big brains to kind of manipulate the rules to their favor. So yeah, technically they're overpowered, but in a different way than we're used to seeing. And the plot even kind of centers around this because the main conflict is them trying to help the humans of this world kind of win their land back after they basically lost most of their land gambling with the other races of this world. Again, this was 10 years. Sorry, I just realized I'm really old and
relax.
So
relax.
Again, This was 10 years ago. So I would 100% believe that this series, because it was popular, if it had kept
You're not
going,
old until you hit
really
70.
changed isekai. Simply because every popular isekai is cannibalized by every new isekai for inspiration. And I think the series would have changed how isekai was perceived, because isekai really just means other world. It doesn't have to be the typical fantasy world with green hills and blue skies and cities in the shape of fucking circles. Instead, it can be anything that you want it to be. If you want it to be sci-fi and futuristic, sure, why not? You want it to be just gothic? Okay, fuck it. It can be a western. I'd watch the time I got reincarnated as a cowboy and got dysentery. Why? Because it's different.
No.
How about instead of a circle, maybe make it a square or a triangle? Ooh, different.
Whoa. A pentagram.
But sadly, other than a movie in 2017, this series has yet to get a season 2, and so it really didn't have time to shine or leave that big of an imprint on the genre. And even 10 years later, Madhouse, the studio behind season 1 and the movie, really haven't said anything other than while making both, they ran into issues. But I have my own theory. Put on your tinfoil hat for this one, buddy, because where we're going, it's about to get fucking crazy.
Crazy! Walk horizon.
Well, not really. I actually think that this makes a lot of sense. This
okay, so is this a guess?
In 2014, only 2 years after Sword Art Online, which started the wave of popularity that isekai was getting, but a very specific kind of isekai was getting popular, and those were the ones like Sword Art Online. So they had JRPG elements, so levels, skill menus, and set in typical fantasy worlds. And No Game No Life really doesn't fall into that type of isekai. So yeah, my theory is because the series was so different and unique, that's why we never got a second season. I think some bigwigs at Madhouse saw that isekai was going to get popular, and their series went against the grain, and they had two choices. Try and ride the wave with this isekai and hope that it remains popular, or cut their losses and not even take the chance before it was too late and make something that would have fell more in line with what was popular. And oh, they definitely went with the latter, because a year after dropping this show, they animated and then released Overlord, a series that fell more in line with what was popular at the time.
That was right after.
Okay, interesting. Help that No Game No Life also came out the same year as Haikyuu and Sword Art Online Gun Gale and Seven Deadly Sins and
I did not like Gun Gale
and Space Dandy.
Whoa!
And of course, everyone's favorite, the kawaii complex guide to manners and hostile behavior.
I love that show.
All these series are really big hits, and I think it just came down to that Madhouse also wanted a big hit and knew they could get one if they made an isekai that fell in line versus one that just didn't. But then the question
I love Space Dandy so much.
Why not release it now? And I honestly think it's because they're a little bit afraid. Oh my god, I'm actually going to be able to use my psych degree? Okay. They're basically afraid of the theory expectancy disconfirmation, which is just a theory that suggests that as something takes longer to come out, people's imaginations start to run a little bit wild and they start to come up with a idealized version that to them is very perfect. And then when they actually do get the final product, they're not satisfied with it because they already imagined a way better version of what they got. I just believe that they think that if they release No Game No Life Season 2 now, that people's expectations will not match what they end up releasing. But again, because a lot of time has passed,
I feel like who cares? Who cares?
Anime has also gone up in general.
Like, I just want to see the end of the show.
High quality voice actors and characters, especially animation. If one anime waifu is animated wrong, or ooh,
that's true.
Isn't close to Mappa level, or ooh, if the voice actor's voice doesn't match what I thought this character's voice was going to sound like, then it's a wrap. This series is trash. And this
One Punch Man season 3.
People will criticize season 2 very negatively if it doesn't meet their expectations, which at this point, a lot of those expectations are probably just insane. The movie in 2017 was to dip their toe in and test the water and see if it would do well. And I mean, it did. A lot of people liked it and a lot of people ended up praising it. But at the same time, it is a movie. It has a little bit more of a budget. And that was in 2017. Things are way different now, even though it's only been a couple of years. And again, this is
about the war
theory and speculation. It's
it
not
took
like
away,
I have
it took away
someone
the
at
premise of
Madhouse
games for
leaking
me.
This is just me looking at the timeline of events and speculating. And I'm probably not the first crazy person to think of this. And does it even really matter 10 years later in 2025? Probably not, because we do have some series that push against the typical fantasy world, and those series do really well because of isekai fatigue. Everyone is sick of seeing the same garbage over and over and over again. So when a series does come out that is slightly different than what the norm is, that isekai series usually ends up blowing up and becomes the next big thing in the genre. Which I would argue kind of also causes an issue where every isekai is also trying to be the same, but different at the same time. And that's how we get series like this. But I do also
Betty Machine.
If No Game No Life had its time to shine and did inspire more isekais to create fun and unique worlds, I don't think
that show's
isekai fatigue would have happened as quickly as it did, simply due to the fact that there probably would have been a lot more different kinds of isekais out right now. But again, even that is just speculation and what if. Time though, I do think that Madhouse should just do what they did with One Punch Man and give No Game No Life to somebody else. A studio that is willing to take the chance on this series and actually animate and release it, especially because at the time of me making this video, it has 12 light novels out. That's a lot. And it has a couple of manga volumes, I think just 2 at this point, but the fan base is still here. They're still supporting this series through the light novels and through the 2 manga volumes. They want an anime adaptation. But I hate to say it, but to those people who have been waiting all these years and having faith in Madhouse, I think it's time to just give up on Madhouse ever making a season 2 and just hoping that they will just one day allow another studio to make season 2. But what do you guys think? Do you guys like No Game No Life? Okay. No Game No Life? Do you?
So this was more just speculation. Okay, this was more speculation. Well, I'm not bad at it. I thought he was gonna come with like specific things versus kind of like what he thought was the reason. Because like there is a interview out there, I'm pretty sure with the creator, I believe it was the creator, that she was like, she said something specifically, there was something specifically difficult with the animation style, like something very, very specific, like how most shows are animated with a black outline versus this one where it's animated with that red outline, which really messed up with anime. It was something I don't remember specifically. That's the problem. I don't remember exactly all the reasoning and issues. I'm sure somebody in the comments would probably like give an update or whatever. Man, because I was scrolling through social media and I saw it. That's why man, this was a while ago. I don't know. I can't remember specifically, but hey, if you're interested, man, go ahead and do a little Google search for real quick. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I appreciate y'all. Thank you for watching. Thank you for coming through, man. You're freaking awesome. Stay classy. Hope you find $1 million and give me like half. I appreciate that, bro. And I'll see y'all in the next one. All right. Deuces.